Okay, I ain't gonna lie. That was mad fucking sus. Anyway, welcome back to the I Am Bruce Lee World channel. It's your boy Bruce Lee World. Welcome back to the I Am Bruce Lee. I probably said that shit twice. Before we get started with today's video, y'all like, comment, subscribe, I kick y'all ass. Now it's probably already know I do already. Follow me on all my social medias, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, everything's at I Am Bruce Lee Roy. Alright, we're gonna get started with today's video. Obviously, y'all know what we do. We do the weekly Eagles recap, all right? So before we get started with talking about the Eagles and the Cowboys game, because I thought it was going to be one of those where I'll be talking about the trade deadline. The Eagles didn't do anything. Pittsburgh made some big moves. The Commanders recently made a big move that I talked about on my on TikTok, like making a little funny reaction to it, okay? And then I believe Pittsburgh made a move, and Detroit also made a move as well. So I'll be talking about those before we get to this game. But before we even get into the trade deadline, there's been some recent news that has surfaced, okay? We're going to talk about two individuals today, all right? So you know how we got on Anthony Richardson and Trayvon Diggs' ass, right? You know how that happened, right? So now we are going to talk about, first and foremost, Micah Parsons, all right? So what happened with Micah Parsons? Like, what's going on? Outside of the fact that he came back from injury and actually had himself a pretty decent game. I'll give props when props was due. He definitely gave Jalen Hurts. He definitely made Jalen Hurts' life hell, especially in that first half. So, welcome back, I guess. You know what I'm saying? The man finally rose out of his podcast and threw the crutches in the air and was ready to go. You know what I'm saying? So he came in, he did his thing. He did a pretty damn good job, all things considered, right? I give props when props is due. But the reporters asked him about Mike McCarthy, all right? So rather than reading you a long-ass segment, I'm going to let this clip play.
Going to be questions. What's the sentiment inside the locker room, and what do you tell people who are wondering about whether McCarthy will be your coach next year?
You know, that's above my pay grade about if Mike is coaching again next year. But, you know, all coaching aside, Mike can leave and go wherever he wants. But the guys I kind of feel bad for is guys like Zach Martin and guys who might be on their last year or on their way out, because that's who I wanted to hold the trophy for. You want to win games and do great things with those type of legends who put in more time and work than Mike McCarthy ever did. So those are the kind of guys that I have so much sympathy and hurt for.
So let's have a conversation about it. Here's the thing, okay? I'm very glad that Micah Parsons is not a criminal. Fuck getting a soda. Fuck getting atomic hoagie, a pastrami sandwich with extra Swiss cheese and some pickles and some cucumbers. You don't need none of that shit. You know what you need to give Micah Parsons time to tell on his damn self and on his crew? Time. Make that nigga sit in that room for about 12 hours, and I promise you that nigga will literally solve the whole case for you by himself. That nigga will be Sherlock Homeboy. Only difference is he's prosecuted himself for the crime. It's crazy. Here's the problem with Micah Parsons. Is he a great player? Yes. He's a top 5 defensive player in the NFL. Maybe I would go as far as to say top 3 in this league, okay? Without question. Definitely just a outstanding talent. Rivalry aside, he's a very, very talented individual when it comes to football, okay? But this is the problem with Micah Parsons, okay? His mouth gets him in trouble. The man cannot stop talking. Even when, there's a rule in life, okay? The more you open your mouth, the more you talk, the more shit you're going to reveal about yourself. Not only that, sometimes if you talk too long, you're going to reveal the stuff that you're actually supposed to be keeping to yourself. These comments about Mike McCarthy was one of those situations. Now, I'm not a politically correct individual, so PR with me will only go but so far. But here's the thing. Let's just say if we was running a practice test, like, okay, we about to prepare you for the media, things like that, and this is like, say, day one, training one-on-one of PR, right? Question to your head coach. Now, here's the situation. Cowboys, Dak, first off, once again, praise after Dak Prescott for a full recovery. Rivalry aside, I always want to see guys healthy. I never want to see guys hurt. So, rivalry aside, praise after Dak Prescott for a full recovery, regardless of how I feel about the Cowboys. want to make sure that man is actually, his health is doing all right, okay? So definitely ain't wishing no injury on nobody or nothing like that. So Dak Prescott is pretty much out for the season, right? They talked about he's going to get a second opinion on the hamstring because the hamstring was torn off the bone. He's out for the season. It wasn't for a few weeks, like I said in the last video. He's out for the season. So just think about this situation, right? He's out for the season. They have not really went anywhere with Mike McCarthy. And I said this, I think, either last year or in 2021. Mike McCarthy was not brought to the Cowboys to help them win the Super Bowl. Mike McCarthy was brought to the Cowboys to basically say, hey, he's a Super Bowl champion. That's the excuse. That's the optics. So that way, people that's looking at the situation can back off. They're like, oh, he's a Super Bowl champion. So obviously it's a good hire. My fault. Tweaking. But it's not. Because if you think about what was the team's success post 2011, outside of Aaron Rodgers doing what the fuck he wanted to do. And listen, there's blame to go on both sides. Mike McCarthy is just not good enough when it comes to the X's and O's. He's not a good offensive play caller. And a lot of his, tactics and things of that nature is outdated. And another thing is, Rodgers kind of is somewhat of a cancer because he gonna do what the fuck he want to do, regardless if it's the right decision or the wrong decision. He gonna do what floats the boat. I'm just saying, whatever floats his boat, he's gonna do. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that made a whole lot of sense, but y'all understand the gist of what I'm saying. Everybody's gonna do what the fuck he want to do, right? Period. Point blank to end. That's why the nigga got Nathaniel Hackett as OC. Not because this motherfucker actually is a good play caller, because I've never seen any success that he's had that I could point to and say Nathaniel Hackett drew up a good player. Nathaniel Hackett was genius for creating this particular concept. No, Nathaniel Hackett is the substitute teacher that everybody wants, or is a teacher that when they come in their motherfucking class, they ain't gonna do a motherfucker. They ain't gonna do shit. They gonna probably, if there's a laptop cart in the classroom, they gonna open that bitch up, go play games on Math Playground. See, y'all real ones don't know about Math Playground. You know what I'm saying? Probably play Math Playground, Stealth Hunter, some kind of flash game or some sort, whatever. Or probably just window shop. I don't fucking know. But something of that sort. But when you come in that class, you ain't gonna do a goddamn thing. Nigga ain't gonna teach you shit. Right? So Nathaniel Hackett's never been a good coordinator. That's why when he was a coach, he didn't know he was horrible. Because he never was successful running an offense. It was Aaron Rodgers pretty much carried his ass the whole time. And once again, he doesn't give Aaron Rodgers any resistance, and he doesn't provide any real coaching value. He's just there to get the fuck out of Aaron Rodgers' way. Now, how does this relate? Because that's Mike McCarthy to Jerry Jones. He's there to stay the fuck out the way and don't say anything. Why? Because he's had post the 2011 Super Bowl victory over the Steelers. He's had success. But it's also been documented that him and Rodgers kind of butted heads. You know what I mean? So, going back to the situation, right? Mike McCarthy hasn't really done shit in Dallas. Just keeping it real. He hasn't made Dallas better. Am I going to say he's the overall problem in Dallas? No. But he damn sure ain't the solution. He's not making the situation better. Excuse me. He's not making the team worse, but he's not making them better. Which still, that's not a good thing regardless, because you get a head coach, especially one with Super Bowl experience, you get a head coach to elevate your team. He does neither, right? If you have a good roster, you might win a playoff game or two with Mike McCarthy. But for the most part, he's just a figurehead. He really doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. And Jerry Jones knew that. But Jerry Jones was like, I'm going to hire somebody not to help the football team win, because I don't give a fuck about that. This man doesn't give a fuck about the football team winning. He cares about how he looks in front of a camera. Nigga, you old as fuck. I mean, you must think you got that listen, I'm going to pause. You must think you got that Bill Belichick dick. I'm just saying.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Who the hell you trying to impress, nigga? But whoever the hell your lady is, nigga, that's all that's coming to you, nigga. You look like a senator, nigga, that when they pass the bills around the lobbies and shit, you need contacts and glasses at the same time to look at the motherfucker. Matter of fact, you the type of nigga that when you read, you got contact lenses on, you got glasses, and you got a motherfucking magnifying glass, and you got a microscope on the side of the desk just in case none of that shit works. Bro, you old as hell, okay? And you clearly showing it because the decisions that you've made with this football team just been fucking stupid and god awful, okay? And I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to go further. And here's the thing. If I'm Dak Prescott, if I was Dak Prescott, I would have never, if I was Dak Prescott, I was CeeDee Lamb. For Dak Prescott especially. Do I think Dak has contributed to an extent as to why the team hasn't elevated because he hasn't necessarily elevated his game? Yes. But I also think that he needs a change of coaching and he needs a change of environment. The same way I feel like, and I'm not comparing Sean McVay to Mike McCarthy, okay? Like two different leagues of coaches. Like Sean McVay is one of the most innovative minds when it comes to offense in NFL history, just period, right? But here's the thing. And honestly, low-key, it might be time for Sean McVay to get his ass up out of there, too, because the Rams not going nowhere, okay? Matthew Stafford threw too many damn interceptions. He can't stop turning the ball. Everybody gets on Josh Allen about the turnovers, but nobody's getting on Matthew Stafford consistently throwing interceptions. Damn near pretty much every game I watch of the Rams, this nigga throws an interception. I didn't want to talk about the Rams, but my point is this. Dak Prescott, if I was him, you've been in the league damn near a decade, okay? You know pretty much, you have a general idea. If you really haven't got to the Super Bowl within your tenure, you've been in the league 8, 9, 10, maybe this is your 10th year, I don't know. You haven't really gone nowhere. You still can play at a somewhat decent level. Why not go to a better environment with better coaching? Is the money really worth staying there? Seriously. I don't think the money is worth ruining your career. This nigga ruined his career by taking, he should have never took that money. Because I promise you this, somebody was going to pay Dak Prescott top dollar. I don't know who the hell that would have been. Somebody would have done so. I would have took my chances and left. I wouldn't even want the goddamn contract. Would have played out whatever was remaining, go to a new team, a new ball club, start off fresh. Because it's very apparent that Jerry Jones is not going to get out of your way or the team's ways and his own 12 o'clock shadow. Okay, he's not going to get out the way of that. And we pretty much know the ceiling of where you're going to be as a quarterback. So by the time his contract is up, which I think will be like 35 years old, 34, bro, like, what good are you going to be, right? Because at the end of the day, I think part of Dak Prescott's game to an extent, my fault, he's primarily a pocket passer, but to an extent, he uses his mobility. So let's talk about, because I'm kind of dancing around, let's get to the point of about what Micah Parsons said. Here's the thing. Micah Parsons tried to clear it up and talk about Rex Ryan, this, that, and the third of the podcast. But, like, long story short with Micah Parsons talks too goddamn much. He needs to learn to not talk so fucking much. You don't have to give your 2 cents into everything. Because, really, when he opens his mouth, and I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I have to tell this shit the way it is. I don't have a choice. I have to say exactly what it is. Every time you open your mouth, my nigga, you say shit that doesn't make you or the team look very good. Darius Slay is our version of Micah Parsons. Sometimes he talks too damn much and doesn't understand that he doesn't represent himself in the best way. Micah Parsons, you pretty much do the same shit. No wonder y'all best friends. Thank God you're a law-abiding citizen who's a football player, not a criminal, because your ass wouldn't have a very long career. Again, like I said, you don't need no potato chips. You don't need no pastrami sandwich. You don't need no goddamn can of Pepsi. All they need is to sit your ass in the room with Tom and just hear your ass talk, and you gonna give them everything. You gonna give them all. They don't need no motherfucking clue. They just hear your story, nigga, and everything gonna line up and make sense. But here's the thing. I understand that you're frustrated with the organization being in a hamster wheel. I'm sure you're not stupid. You know this. I'm sure at the end of the day, you're tired as a... You're pretty much, in my opinion, let's just keep it real. Micah Parsons is the best. You could argue CeeDee Lamb, but I'm just going to go out on a limb and say Micah Parsons is the best player on the Dallas Cowboys. Okay, I'm just keeping it real. He's the best player on the Dallas Cowboys. If you decide to say CeeDee Lamb, I'm not going to argue with you about it. But Micah Parsons, to me, is the best player on that Cowboys team, right? Top 3 defensive player in the league, maybe top 5. I don't know how y'all rank it. He's top 3 to me. I know that you're tired of you giving it your all and you playing at the all-pro level that you have. Again, you still need to elevate your game in the playoffs. But I know you're tired of giving everything that you have, and then you consistently coming up short. I get the frustration. I understand your coach ain't really helping shit. I understand. But you got to be careful what you say. Because at the end of the day, it was very obvious to me he tried to do the PR cleanup, but the damage was already done, and he didn't make the situation worse. He just was just like, at some point in time, somebody just like should have cut this nigga Wi-Fi off or something. Just like pretend like a power outage in the area. Like some diehard Cowboys fan, pretend it's a motherfucking power outage in the area, but do it on purpose so that way Michael Parsons doesn't be able to film his podcast that day. Because this nigga, it doesn't make himself look good. He don't make his team look good when he talks. He makes the situation 3 times worse than what it actually is. Micah, I get you're probably frustrated. I get the end of the day when it comes to Mike McCarthy, like, bro, he hasn't done shit to, like, really elevate y'all. I get that. I get you're probably frustrated with a lot more people who you probably didn't even get a chance to mention. But you're the leader of the team, and you're the best player on the football team. Again, if you say CeeDee Lamb, okay. You're the best player on the team. Brother, you got to set an example. So that means you got to be the guy that does the damage control. Even when we're looking at you like, nigga, you know your team ain't going no motherfucking where. You got to be able to be the cool head out the group. Because that's the leadership component that comes with a player of your caliber, right? That the people are going to look up to you because obviously your work ethic and the production on the football field. All right? So people are going to be looking at, your team's going to be looking up to you. You do not want to cause a stir, be like, damn, does he really hate Mike McCarthy? Because what it sounds like is basically what I got from you is, yo, that nigga can go. I'm not worried about that nigga one bit. I don't give a fuck if this nigga says, should I stay or should I go? I don't give a fuck if this nigga goes anywhere. I don't give a fuck if he go with the Wicked Witch of the West. I don't care. I don't give that nigga get swept up like Dorothy from Wizard of Oz in a motherfucking tornado. I don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, that's basically what you were saying. Like, you don't give a fuck what happens to this nigga. This nigga can go on a fucking magic carpet ride with Aladdin and shit, and you wouldn't even turn around. You hear a whooshy sound behind you, probably feel a little neck breeze. You probably like, oh, that's somebody turn on the air conditioner. Like, motherfucker, you outside. Like, come on, stop playing. But yeah, it was very obvious that you have a strong dislike for Mike McCarthy because he's not doing enough to elevate your team. And you made it awkward because did this nigga get fired yet? No. He didn't get fired. He's still a head coach of your team, and you're still under his authority in a sense. So you saying that while he's still in the building, while your team is falling apart because your franchise quarterback is out for the year, y'all have a losing season, y'all probably not even going to make the playoffs because Washington is definitely making the playoffs, and so are we. It's just a matter between two of who's going to win the division. But we're definitely the two that's going to make the playoffs. Y'all going to be the odd ones out. So y'all looking like y'all not going to make the playoffs at all. So y'all literally fuck the whole hamster wheel shit. And on top of that, your schedule, I don't know if it even gets better. I don't know if it gets better after this. And Cooper Rush and Trey Lance, we'll talk about them, but they ain't giving y'all much of a fighting chance, to be straight up and honest with you. So I get the frustration, but you got to operate better than that as a team leader. And there's, again, him trying to do damage control after the fact, you're just making this shit look worse. Because there's nothing that he told me, there's nothing that he said, or there's nothing that you can say to try to sweep that under the rug. Your real feelings about how you feel about your head coach was put on display. That's not good leadership. All right? So that's all I got to say about that. But that was very, very, not very intelligent of Michael Parsons to speak about his head coach in that manner, especially when he's still the coach of the team. So I want to talk about Deebo Samuel. Now, for those of y'all don't know, Deebo Samuel at once upon a time, before Devontae Smith, the Slim Reaper, before the Slim Reaper became my favorite wide receiver, once upon a time, Deebo Samuel was my favorite wide receiver. Why was Deebo Samuel my favorite wide receiver? Because the man could do everything. Strong as fuck. He could do special teams. He could catch. He could do everything. He could run the ball like a running back. There's nothing that Deebo Samuel couldn't do. And I think to an extent, I still think to to this day, I think the 49ers are so concerned about all the shit that he can do that instead of utilizing him like a wide receiver, like how Justin Jefferson, how Jamar Chase is being used, they're utilizing too much of this, the gadget shit. And I think that's kind of hampering his production. But without question, I think at the very least, from a talent perspective, he's a top 10 wide receiver in this league. And I think he could be top 5 if used correctly. But that's not going to happen. So, why am I talking about Deebo Samuel today? Bro, you talked about him like, well, he didn't mention the Eagles. Why am I talking about him? I'm talking about Deebo Samuel because he decides to mush his kicker, Moody, who missed, I think, like 3 field goals. And then he mushed, I think, the long snapper. It was kind of weird because he mushed the long snapper. Then he pulled on the helmet of the kicker for missing those 3 field goals. Now, I didn't catch what was said, but I'll let y'all watch the clip and see for yourselves. Why was all of a sudden he did not become my favorite wide receiver? Well, I'm going to let you talk a little shit to my Eagles. You want to know why? Because you're not on our team. So I'll let it slide. No problem. I'll let it slide. Cool. Now, all right, you did it once. You did it twice. All right, bro. Now you do it 3 times. You did it 4 times. All right, bro. You're done. You're done. You're done. You're done. It's over. It's over. You're out. No longer my favorite wide receiver no more because I have more leaders to my team. The only person I would ever allow talk shit and he won't do it because he's a class act is Mahomes. That's the only nigga that's my favorite. That's my favorite player of all time, regardless of position. He could talk shit about my. Then nigga could say Jalen Hurts is ass, and the only reason why he good because he got AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and I will act like who's he talking? I think he might have been talking about Donovan McNabb. I don't think he was talking about Jalen Hurts. I would make up every lie, nigga. I would be on. Never mind. I was about to say something, but I'm not gonna insult the guy because I kind of fuck with him. I'm not gonna do that. So I'm gonna keep that joke to myself. But I'm gonna be on some crazy. I'm gonna be on some academics Drake level of delusion. If he says something about the Eagles, be like. Now, he might have been talking about the Randall Cunningham Eagles. I don't think he wasn't talking about the. Nah, I don't think. He might have been talking about the Eagles with Chuck Benderick, when they won the 1960 NFL championship. That's the only nigga I would ever, overlook. Be like, he damn sure talking about the Eagles. You know what? He's talking about the ones that came into Virginia. I guess they're like an invasive species now. I will make up every motherfucking excuse in the book to not even address that Mahomes talked about the Eagles. Again, he won't do that because he's a class act. But if he earned that right, he earned it. I don't give a fuck. He could do that, and he's still my favorite. And then could do a sneak diss, and on tweet be like, I guess them birds got caught in the oil spill today, and be dissing the Eagles. What you think I'm going to do? Oh, did you hear about Mahomes? Did I hear about what? You know what's funny, man? I had an appointment to go get a hearing aid, but for some odd reason, I can't really afford to get it right now. So I'm just gonna have to just kind of learn sign language and how to read lips and shit like that. So what I'm saying, I didn't really hear him say it, bro. Listen. But then with Deebo, it's like, okay, you're gonna talk trash. All right, I'm not really cool with you. Keep talking shit about my team. Yes, I know he's according to AJ Brown, he's trolling. I don't think so. And apparently they're friends, which, I don't have a problem with AJ, bro. If that's your friend, that's your friend. Fine. It is what it is. But then it became weird. Then it's like, what really kind of made me look at him sideways was he lost to the Chiefs. And instead of talking about the team that he lost to the Super Bowl, he's still talking about us. It's like the nigga has a fucking addiction to talk about us. Like, nigga, you want to fuck the logo or something, nigga? Which one you want to do? The modern version or the one with the bald eagle with the goddamn ball, the brown ball, and you want to fuck the old Eagles logo or the brand new? Which one? You want to fuck the old font or the new font? Why the fuck you keep talking about the Eagles over and over again? You lost to the Chiefs. I don't know if you colorblind, nigga. I don't know what happened. All them steroid use got your ass colorblind. I don't know what happened. But why the fuck is you talking about the Eagles if you lost to the Kansas City Chiefs? Nigga, last time I checked, the Kansas City Chiefs were an AFC team. We're an NFC team, nigga. We're not even in the same direction. You know how you say there's NFC West? We're in the NFC East. Why are you talking about the Eagles and you lost to the Super Bowl against the Kansas City Chiefs? Talk your shit against the Chiefs. Why are you talking about us? I don't understand that. So he started to be weird about it. And I'm like, ever since I decided to publicly announce he wasn't my favorite wide receiver in the league anymore, every single year he proves to me that I made the right decision. And he proved to me again that I made the right decision. Because who in the hell told you that it was okay to put your hands on a teammate for making a mistake? Just imagine if you walk in your day job right now. And let's just say, shit, I don't know. You didn't get sleep. You might have lost a loved one and you're trying to fight through it. So you go to work anyway. But it's really bothering you. So you got a tray full of, frozen shit. Let's just say you work at a restaurant, you got a tray full of frozen shit. You keep dropping it. That's like the nigga that's working next to you in the kitchen coming and open hand smacking the shit out of you. Like one of them smack competitions and shit. Just smacking the shit out of you because you kept dropping the fries. Not understanding that you're not getting sleep and there's something mentally, not right up there because somebody you love just died. But you're not telling nobody that because you're trying to tough it out because you gotta keep going. Like you gotta get an income, right? So you're trying to do things to distract yourself, but it's not working. It's still affecting you. I've watched you have bad games before. I've watched you struggle before. The Super Bowl last year, you didn't play your best ball. Okay? And your ass looked like you just got finished working a goddamn strip club shift at Chippendales, nigga. Everybody's working for the weekend. The fuck? Your ass looked like you was up there dancing, talking about some too sexy for my shirt. Too sexy for my shirt. Fuck is wrong with you, nigga? Who the hell you think you is putting your hands on your teammate? And then what really pissed me off, and I'm not even a 49er fan, this shit pissed me off. Like, my nigga, hell no. Hell no. Bro. And we're going to talk about Kyle Shanahan. We're going to throw Kyle Shanahan because he's the problem as well. We talk about cultures, right? And this is why I'm going to slightly, and I mean very slightly, apologize to Nick Sirianni. I'm about to tell you why. Just a few seconds. Hold that thought, okay? So let me. I'm going to go back to Kyle Shanahan and Sirianni. That's why I apologize to Sirianni. I'm going to apologize to him partially. Here's the thing, Debo. Okay, so not only was it wrong to do that, the shit that pissed me off was how smug he was acting at the press conference. He's like, yeah, well, he finally made the game winner, so yeah. I talked to Moody about it, and we're going to move past it. The fuck was that? That's the look of a motherfucker who only sorry because he got caught. There's not one shred of remorse that says, you know what? Damn, I made my teammate look really bad. I should have never put my hands on my teammate. That wasn't a look on this nigga face. The look on this nigga face was like, shit, here we go again. Motherfucker did the CJ from goddamn GTA and shit. Shit, here we go again. Like, yo, you just put your fucking hands on your teammate because he made a mistake and missed 3 kicks. You just put your hands on your teammate and embarrass him in front of him. And if he has a family, you embarrass him in front of his family. The fuck is wrong on national TV? What the fuck is wrong with you? On primetime television. What's wrong? Well, it's not prime. It's like 12. It was 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Whatever. Probably earlier than that because 3 hours it's in Pacific time. I think the 49ers are home. Don't quote me on that. But whatever. I want to talk about Kyle Shanahan and the culture that he runs over there. The 49ers are just like the Cowboys. Only difference is they've gotten to the highest level. But they're just like the Cowboys. They are not interested in trying to do the thing that's going to help them win. They're interested. And mind you, I kind of like Brock Purdy. I think Brock Purdy got overhated in a lot of respects. I just, I criticize it because I'm like, damn, I didn't really see a game where I could point to him. So I got to point to Jalen on multiple occasions and say, Jalen won the football game for the Eagles. There wasn't a game I could point to say that Brock Purdy said, I could say Brock Purdy won him the football game. That was my critique. But Brock Purdy's always been good. And I truly think that Jimmy Garoppolo couldn't. He had some success. Jimmy Garoppolo was never as good pocket presence, poise, under pressure. He doesn't have the intangibles that Brock Purdy has. And I don't think the success would have been the same with Jimmy Garoppolo at the helm. I'm just keeping it real with you, okay? Christian McCaffrey definitely makes shit a lot easier. But I'm just saying, I don't think the intangibles I see with Brock Purdy, I never seen it with Jimmy Garoppolo, even with the success that they had going to the Super Bowl against the Chiefs for the first time. But here's the problem with Kyle Shanahan and his culture. Kyle Shanahan is not trying to coach a football team. See, this is why they got their asses beat in the Super Bowl. Because the difference between Andy Reid and Kyle Shanahan, Andy Reid is coaching a football team. This motherfucker right here is trying to coach Birdman's team from above the rim. This motherfucker trying to, act like he coaching a team from motherfucking backbreaker, goddamn blitz the league, motherfucking the longest yard. Nigga, y'all are professional football players. Yes, they got to have a little nastiness to it. But I noticed that, Kyle Shanahan doesn't seem to have a problem with a lot of the dirty antics that I see from the 49ers. They do a lot of dirty shit. Both sides of the ball. I've seen Trent Williams do some dirty shit. I've seen Hufungus, Troy Polamalu's, not so great cousin. I've seen him do some dirty shit. I've seen Greenlaw do some dirty shit. I've seen a lot of players do a lot of dirty shit. And it's a weird culture they got over in San Francisco because it's not a culture that's conducive to being a great football team and just playing. They're trying to do dirty shit to win football games. And I'm here to tell you, they don't only get you but so far. Yeah, y'all got away with, y'all got talent. That shit took you to Super Bowl only for y'all to lose. Because you came against a real football team and a real head coach. Not coaching his players to do dirty shit. And it seemed like, I'm not going to go as far as to say Kyle Shanahan is the reason. But he's definitely very, how should I put it? He allows it. You think that shit would happen under a Nick Saban team? Under a Bill Belichick team? Playing physical is one thing. Playing dirty is a whole different thing. Playing dirty doesn't win you championships. I don't give a fuck how much talent you got. So I got a weird culture in San Francisco. And as long as this culture of trying to be dirty players, not really trying to be a football team, just trying to do all this extracurricular shit that you see every year from this goddamn team, as long as they keep doing that, the 49ers will never touch that Lombardi. They can look at it from afar, and Debo can look at the sky for a Boeing 747. Motherfucker was sitting up there imagining himself like drawing a goddamn Lombardi in his mind and probably having a mirage thinking he see the motherfucking Lombardi and it's like a plane drew a Lombardi in the sky. Do all that crying and shit. They won't touch a Lombardi. Because they're not constructed to be a real football team. They're constructed to be just dirty ass players who think that their talent alone is going to get them a championship. Physicality is a part of the game, sure. But a part of the game. A part of the game. Not, we basically a low-level bounty gate. Just on just enough where the NFL won't get on our ass about it. Let's put it like that. So this culture that Kyle Shanahan has set or allowed or, condoned, this is why the 49ers are going to continue to do what they're doing. And they're not even, they're barely even the best. The Cardinals are doing better than them, which is fucking crazy. They don't even have half their talent. They're not talentless. They don't even have half their talent. They still got a lot of pieces left, especially on the defensive end, to really be a legit contender. But they actually are the best team in the NFC West. It's not even. Matter of fact, they got two teams that's better than them right now. Arizona and Seattle. The 49ers might miss the playoffs. Green Bay's going. Detroit can go. Minnesota probably. The 49ers might not make the playoffs. So Debo Samuel, that shit was out of control. And that response told me everything I needed to know about the whole organization. They're just like, ugh. Anyway, we're gonna move on. So let's talk about the. I don't want to talk about Deebo Samuel enough. There's a reason why There's a reason why the Slim Reaper, my favorite wide receiver, not his ass. So now, I know you're gonna say, okay, Bruce Leroy, you made a skit about the Eagles making the trade at the deadline. So what I'm about to tell you guys is not gonna make much sense if you watch the skit. Okay, it's on TikTok and I think it's YouTube and Instagram and shit like that. Okay. So I made a tweet acting like I was frustrated about the Eagles not making a move. Honestly, I'm not upset, and I'm going to tell you why I'm not upset. Number one, I don't think that. Listen. I think Shipley should have been utilized more. He kind of did get utilized more. He's just not as strong. I think he's going to get better as time goes along. But as a runner, he has a lot of work to do. He's not that strong of a runner in the NFL. So hopefully over time he can improve his ability to run the football instead of just being a viable option, just out the backfield, because there's no way in the hell you can promote him over Kenny Gainwell right now. I understand people are mad at Kenny Gainwell for kind of just not for doing the bare minimum, but he's not ready to be over Gainwell. I still think they need another running back that actually can run the football. So that would make it easier for Saquon, because Gainwell's good. He had a good game, but I don't think he's like, it's too big of a drop-off when it comes to obviously Saquon is damn near the best running back in the league, if not him or Derrick Henry. But I think he's the best. I think he's number one. That's just my opinion. But yeah, so I'm not actually mad at the Eagles not making any moves, to tell you the truth. I'm not. I'm generally not upset about it because I think that we have, and also let's talk about the defensive end, because Vic Fangio said there's no reason to get anybody, because chances are when you give up those late picks, those 5th, 6th, 7th rounders, and you're trying to go all out for a guy that you pretty much will be ready for the year for the most part. And basically said there's no real point in trading for anybody unless that player is going to be a part of the future for like the next 3 to 4 seasons. I'm paraphrasing that last part, but you understand my point. So we haven't even used Jelix Hunt, who honestly, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Talk about the Zach. Obviously, Vic Fangio hit on the Zach Bond shit. That was clearly obvious. And he's definitely did a great job of helping Kobe Dean develop 100% and helping Nolan Swift develop as well. Now, it's getting to the point where, bro, Jelix Hunt could start next year. I genuinely think he's good enough to start next year. Every time he's in the game, he makes a play. Whether he's batting a pass, I think he had a forced fumble or a fumble recovery, one of those two, maybe both. He's always making a play. Jelix Hunt's going to be a very, very good player in this league. How good? I don't know. Depends on how well they develop him. By the way, credit to the linebacker coach, too, for doing a hell of a job this year. This is probably the best linebacker coach we've had in a long-ass time. But, yes, I'm going to keep it real with you, man. Like, Jelix Hunt's going to – he might be so much better than what we expect. I don't think we've even seen his ceiling, but I'm telling you, I've seen flashes, and this guy legit, bro. Like, at the end of the day, the Bryce Huff thing, obviously we should have never took that chance to pay $17 million for a guy that couldn't prove he's a 4-down lineman or at least a 3-down lineman. So he hasn't proved that in this league yet, so I thought it was a bad job taking that chance to give a guy that much money and lock somebody in a long-term contract who you're not certain if he's going to pan out or not. I think it should have been more or less of a rental. So that probably was like a bad move on Howard Roseman. I don't want to criticize. I think people have criticized him way too much, and it doesn't even make any fucking sense because it's nowhere near his fault. And he's done so much great shit that we just kind of overlook. And every time something go wrong, be like, oh, fuck the fact you got Saquon, you got A.J. Brown, and you got all these other guys in the building, and you locked up A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith long term. Fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? Fuck all the fact that, while Biggs was bitching about the offensive line picks, you pretty much hit on all of them. Fuck all that. And on top of that, we got all these players, and we're not even close. Like, there's a lot of teams in salary cap hell. New Orleans is in salary cap hell right now, bro. And there's a lot of teams in salary cap hell. Like, literally, if any team had another roster like us, bro, their salary cap be fucked up right now. Our salary cap is nowhere near fucked up. So he's getting these great players without killing us in the cap. And he's getting players he's getting guys that actually want to be here. By the way, quickly with the Kyle Shanahan, Nick Sirianni thing, because I didn't get to finish. That's why I apologize to Nick Sirianni, because at the end of the day, I think the X's and O's shit with Nick Sirianni, he's not good at the X's and O's. He's horrible. He's fucking horrible. He does not know how to call an NFL offense. But one thing I will give him credit, though, he knows how to have an environment where he knows how to set expectations of players, that players have to come and play hard and give their best. But at the same time, he's a player's coach, right? And despite the fact that we don't necessarily like how, some of the shit he be doing, a lot of the shit he be doing, he does a fantastic job of actually having an environment that's healthy. And that really says that speaks volumes, right? Dan Campbell's one of those guys who is creating a very, very healthy environment in Detroit. Another prime example, Andy Reid with the Chiefs, healthy environment, right? It's just nobody wants to play in fucking Kansas City. But, and also that cap with the Mahomes shit is killing them too. But, yes, those are healthy environments that these coaches are brewing. So, to an extent, I do apologize to Sirianni, because our shit could be a hell of a lot worse. Look at these other teams, like what the Cowboys are in, what the 49ers are in, and I'm just like, those are not great environments to win over there. But Sirianni's definitely cultivated a great environment and a great culture for these players. So I'll give him credit for that, and I do owe him an apology by acknowledging at least that part. So, yes, moving on. I'm not mad about the trade. I think I would have loved to see Miles Sanders, right? Miles Sanders wouldn't have cost you that much, because he has not really been productive, if at all, as a Panther. I don't know why the fuck he isn't, but maybe it's his style. I don't know, but he's not played well, really, as a Panther. So I think you could have got a steal, could have got upgrade over Kenny Gainwell, but I'm not entirely too upset, because we haven't really utilized our weapons, and right now we're hot. So you got to be careful putting too many people. You can't put too many cooks in the kitchen. When motherfuckers up there whipping that shit, you got the 3-layer cake, got the entrees, the appetite of a whooping ass. You don't bring another person in that don't know how the kitchen is, don't know the environment, don't know the atmosphere, and he come in with his attitude, and everybody else is on some different type of timing. Can't put too many cooks in the kitchen. So I kind of see why Howie didn't make a move. Why give a fifth, sixth, or seventh round? Again, another edge rusher would have been nice. But we really haven't even touched the surface on getting the other players involved, like Shipley, who again, I don't think he's ready. I don't think he's ready to be a running back too. And Jalen Hunt, he's playing really, really good. We just have not given him enough opportunities. We're going to get into this game. So, obviously, we got our blowout win 34-6. Let's talk about Jalen Hurts, right? So, Jalen Hurts, 14 for 20, 202 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Had 2 rushing touchdowns on the ground. So, he had 7 carries for 56 yards. 8 yards to carry. Okay, so here's the thing. I'd say the whole first quarter, and I'd say half the second quarter. The first half of the second quarter, he was horrible. And here's the reason why I say he was horrible. I'm not gonna say he was horrible, but he was bad. I'm gonna say why. Do I think that sun and that was peeking through the dome had something to do with it? Yeah, but no. And I'm gonna tell you why I say no. Because he was doing some shit that's like completely avoidable. And I'll give you an example. I don't understand why the fuck do you keep staring at one side. This nigga takes the ball from the snap and he keeps staring on the left. And I already know who the fuck he looking. He either staring down at A.J. Brown or staring down at Devontae Smith. I'm going to be honest with you. You got to learn how to look off the nigga you trying to throw to. Because I don't give a fuck if you get the ball over there or not. I don't care how good your receiver is. Great defensive backs are going to notice. And case in point for the interception, right? The fumble and the interception, despite what people want to do, I'm not going to kill them over the turnovers. You want me to keep it real with you? The turnovers are not the issue, at least for me. I think it was one of those things for the interception. Like, okay, so basically this is what I would say, right? When you're staring at one receiver, you're basically telling the defense where the fuck you want to go. It's going to be maybe 1 or 2 options on that side, right? And everybody knows you like to throw to A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, okay? Everybody knows this shit. So, because everybody knows that, that's what everybody's going to be focused on. Now, Pertaining to the interception by Trayvon Diggs, we want to talk about Trayvon Diggs too, because he did some weird shit with Hurts, and I have to address it. I don't know what the fuck was said. I don't think Jalen Hurts, even if I watch the Jalen Hurts, I don't think he was going to say, I don't think Trayvon Diggs is going to say what he told Jalen Hurts either. But the whole shit was just fucking weird. But we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Now, as far as Jalen Hurts is concerned, right? You got to stop staring at one fucking side. There's two sides of the field, right? When you go on the street, you look left to right. You don't just look left because a car from the right could hit your ass. You don't just look to the right because a car from left to hit your ass. And this not fucking, what did you call it, manga? Where you read right to left. Left to right, brother. Nigga kept staring glued on one side. And there was multiple moments where he had Saquon wide open in the flats. I'm talking about, and here's the thing. I'm going to extend this. I'm going to extend this point even further by saying I do not like the game plan. I don't know if Sirianni. I'm going to blame both in this scenario. I'm going to blame Sirianni and I'm going to blame Kellen Moore for this. And the reason why I'm going to blame both of them because if you know they're blitzing, you probably want to get some quick passes. See, there was one play, and I'll give you a good example of what I was talking about. It did a really, really good RPO, and the blitz was coming. Quick RPO, Jalen Hurts kept the ball, and he threw a quick pass to Dallas Goedert. That was how you beat the blitz, with short, quick passing. Another thing, too. Okay, you guys realize that you overused Saquon the last game. Fine. We want to take it easy on giving them carries, especially because Thursday is going to be a short week. Understood. And honestly, if I was Dallas, I definitely would have made sure that we had to beat the Eagles because, number one, we're in Arlington, right? Number two, not only are we in Arlington, these motherfuckers are probably going to look to rest their players for Thursday night. Now, knowing it's a rivalry, we don't give, obviously from their perspective, fuck them Eagles. Let's give them a reason why all their players should play all four quarters. So right then and there, the fact that they probably looking at, they think because Dak Prescott out, and he's gonna blow us out, and then rest the fourth quarter. Oh no, we're gonna make him play all four quarters. Even if we lose, we're gonna win by making all their best players have all four quarters of football. Even if we lose, literally just that alone would have been a win, for me at least. Hurts refused during a blitz. And a lot of people keep talking about 5 sacks. He got sacked. The offensive line allowed 5 sacks. Offensive line had nothing to fucking do with any of that. Jalen Hurts is not paying attention. The play calling is horrible to begin with. Fucking horrible. The play call is not good in those situations because if you have to understand how the Cowboys are going to be coming at you, right? You know they're going to blitz the shit out of it. Like every team, not every team, but most teams are going to blitz the shit out of Hurts. They're going to blitz the shit out of Hurts, or they're going to play super deep zone to not allow A.J. Brown, Devontae Swift to get past them in the open field, right? So, with that being said, the interception thing was just more or less, in my opinion, a great play by Trayvon Diggs, right? And it goes to show you that, hey, when you look at that one side, you're telling the defense who the fuck you want to throw to. So, my guess is he probably stared down Goddard completely. Maybe he did know. Maybe he forgot. I don't know. That Trayvon Diggs, he's good at getting picks. And I almost ate my words until something else happened after that. Well, actually, let's talk about it now because I want to forget. I don't understand why the fuck Trayvon Diggs was in Jalen Hurts' face the way he did. That shit was just completely awkward to me. I really don't understand it. Like, I was confused. He was in his face talking, and then after the game, I guess they was cool or whatever, but like that shit was very, very fucking weird to me. I wish somebody would have recovered the audio to that shit so we could hear what they were saying, because the whole interaction between those two, it was just really fucking weird. Why are you getting in Jalen Hurts' face? Like, I don't understand. Is it because he ran your ass over? I don't. You have to make me understand why you're getting in his face. Like, I don't understand the point of that. I was completely fucking confused. I ain't gonna lie. So, moving forward with that. So Hurts, I was pissed off because I'm like, yo, they know they're blitzing. Get the ball out of your fucking hands. Stop staring at your fucking left side. Put them eyes to the right side. And Saquon's sitting right there. Coaching, I like some check and releases with Saquon. That's what they did kind of with Dallas Goedert on that RPO play. It was a check and release. That's what should have been happening. You know how you throw them little screens, like the little mini screens or whatever? I don't know if it's called, you call it a bubble screen. It's probably not a bubble screen. But you throw them little screens or them little short screens that like kind of seem like past versions of tosses. And you let the blockers develop. That should have been their offense damn near the whole first half. Because all the Cowboys doing was bringing pressure. I'm not going to lie to you. Mike Zimmer has made this defense worse. They definitely missed Dan Quinn, a legitimate defensive coordinator, because this defense sucks ass. And yes, I know they don't have Deron Bland, but they still suck ass. I think they would even suck ass with him being a starter too. Mike Zimmer is a terrible defensive coordinator. Terrible. Like, it wasn't really fantastic as a Minnesota Vikings coach. Didn't really make the defense that much better. He needs to get fired. So Jalen Hurts, I thought, played pretty good outside of that first half where I felt like he was looking too much to one side instead of looking at both sides and checking the ball down. Just holding on to the ball way too goddamn long. Those 5 sacks shouldn't have happened. The offensive line did their job. That's on Jalen Hurts. You got to look both. You're not even looking at your fucking right side. I don't really know what you expect. You know what I'm saying? So Saquon Barkley had a decent day. 14 carries, 66 yards. Nothing crazy to write home about, but you know, Saquon's going to be Saquon. You feel me? Johnny Wilson got his first touchdown. And by the way, shout out to Saquon Barkley for making sure he got the game ball. It's crazy as hell how Saquon, quite arguably, not only has he superseded the expectations of him getting drafted, Philadelphia pretty much resurrected his career. I mean, this man's going to go down as one of the greatest running backs of all time. And this nigga, bro, he's like... And it's crazy as how they told him not to do the backwards hurdle ever again, which to a certain extent I get why they're telling that. Because, like, yo, you can get hurt. Somebody might do some dirty shit to you because you really can't see them if you're hurdling backwards type shit. So I kind of see their perspective in a way. But, you know, like... It's an instinctual thing, and if it worked at that time, it worked. And if he needs to pull it out again, I think you should allow him to do it. But I kind of get why, right? AJ Brown came back because you gotta remember he had his knee injury. It's almost like he wasn't gonna play. 5 catches for 109 yards. Dotson, I told you this nigga could play. I told y'all he could play. He's trash. Bad trade, Howie. Bad trade. Shut the fuck up. You can't determine a player's worth and value if they're not getting the fucking ball. So that shit was crazy. Goddard came back. Goddard had a pretty good game. You know what I'm saying? Devontae Smith was relatively quiet. It happens. Gainwell, 7 carries, 30 yards. He didn't do nothing. Shipley got some time, right? I don't know why they keep putting Anaya Swift in the game, too. And I think that Calcaterra should have been maybe slightly more involved than what he was. But then they get the ball can only go about so much to certain people. The Cowboys are low-key doing some dirty shit. Like, and here's nothing that pissed me off. I have to mention this real quick. Because I'm going to forget. I think it was Steele. I'm not sure. But Jalen Carter was getting to with some dude. I think it might have been Terrence Steele. And Jalen Carter does a flop, right? To make it say, oh, shit, he pushed me, get a free flag. They did not show anything Jalen Carter did, but they called a bullshit call or a foul, unnecessary, whatever the hell they call it. They called personal fouls on both of the players. I'm like, what the fuck did Jalen Carter do? Because Cowboy players were shoving our players after the fucking play. And I wish one of them would have just did some shit back instead of allowing people to shove them. You know what I'm saying? But they kept shoving us. The refs didn't intervene. Then they keep blowing the whistle. Then they come in and try to like pull the players apart. It just Cowboys players shove the fuck out our players. And then when we retaliate or we do something back, that was a flag. What the fuck? Like, yo, you can't do that. Like, I understand we're in Arlington, but goddamn, like, what the fuck? So Zach Bond had a pretty damn good game. I think he had a forced fumble. Might have had 1 or 2 forced fumbles, something like that. Zach Bond's outstanding. Again, like I said, he's a top 5 linebacker in this league, 100%. Josh Sweat, his numbers ain't going to pop out at you, but I thought he played really, really good. He definitely got a lot of pressures. He was very, very active. I actually like the way Josh Sweat played. Okay, Jordan Davis, I think, had a tackle, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not feeling how Jordan Davis is playing this. Yes, I understand he's a primarily a run stuff, but he got an elevated game. Like he's too goddamn average for him. I'm just keeping it real. Not even average. He too non-existent, bro. I shouldn't only know his name. I should know that, goddamn, this nigga actually produced on the field. He's not doing enough. Brandon Graham actually played pretty good, man. I've been playing good all season. I ain't gonna lie to you. Jalen Carter had a pretty damn good game too. Funny enough, Bryce Huff forced a fumble, which was crazy to me. I didn't even notice it until somebody mentioned it after the game. I didn't even see him do that. The Kobe Dean, I love, man. Oh my Lord, Lord, Lord. I want to say the Kobe Dean. Been playing your ass off these last few weeks. And I talked a lot of shit about you. And I was wrong. You really are him. Like, nah, dead ass. You him for real, for real. Can't believe you played at a Pro Bowl level, man. Just want to say I'm proud of you. And keep doing your thing. For sure. Oh, my Lord. No, I'm playing. But nah, all jokes aside, shout out to N'Kobe Dean. He's playing his ass off. Like, yo, shout out to him. Reed Blankenship came alive. And Charles, shout out to him. I think he got an interception and a forced fumble. So talk about elevating his play. He also had a big hit on the ball carry. By the way, Ezekiel Elliott ass is washed up. Trey Lance and Cooper Rush is just fucking trash. I kind of could blame Trey Lance a little bit because I'm like, damn, what the fuck are you doing? Okay, I get you're not going to develop the right way in Dallas. I understand it. But goddamn, what are you doing to help your own development is the question. Clearly, the nigga not doing nothing because there's a reason why. Because they try, I think Mike McCarthy tried to do a pump fake. So they had two plays in that were kind of low-key design RPOs. So it made it seem like he was going to get in the game, I think, towards the end of the third quarter. But they put Cooper Rush back in. But Cooper Rush is fucking horrible. And everybody was saying, 5-1 is a starter. 5-1 is a starter. Well, guess what? Remember 2022, we beat the shit out of the Cowboys with Cooper Rush playing. So cut the crap. Stop it. I think it might have been in Philadelphia. Don't quote me on it. It might have been in Philadelphia, though. But yes, we whooped his ass. Like, so Cooper Rush is, bare. He's a second stringer who really probably should low-key be a third stringer. He's just like, he's not that good. He's just not. He could beat up on some shitty-ass teams and maybe have like a good game, but that's about it. Cooper Rush ain't that good. Neither is Trey Lance. It's horrible. One thing I love about Quayon, even if he allows a catch, he don't give up on a play. And that's one thing I love about Quayon Mitchell. He don't give up on a play. He always fighting. And 100%, yes. Like Quayon Mitchell be fighting, man. Like, honestly, I don't have to look at the numbers what he gave up, but, man, I love that Quayon Mitchell is competing. Cooper DeG, might have got a forced fumble. Cooper DeG really had a really good punt return. I think the second quarter or sometime in the second half. So Cooper DeG, man, like we got a jewel for sure. I'm going to be honest with you, and I didn't say this last year, but I'm going to go ahead and say it, man. I don't really like Isaiah Rodgers. Isaiah Rodgers is young, but to be honest with you, if I had to compare between him and Slay, I think Slay plays better than Isaiah Rodgers, and that's just my opinion. I think Darius Slay tackles better, too. I don't really like how Isaiah Rodgers... Let me still film it. Okay, I don't really like how Isaiah Rodgers play. I'm not a fan of Isaiah Rodgers and how he plays. I really don't like. I don't like his tackling. I think his coverage is. It could be because of the scheme, because they asked him to play far back, but I just don't see nothing. I'm gonna give it time, because we have these players take time to develop. I give him time. I was surprised Slade played today because, Monday, Sunday, whatever. I was surprised he played because I'm like, I think it would be best to do it on a shorter week, not with fucking Cooper Rush, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't think that injury he got, and I think to a certain extent it's still affecting him too. So I think if the smart thing to do would have been to give Slay another day off. That would have been a smart. I don't know why they decided to play him in Dallas. It didn't make sense to me. But Slay, in my opinion, I like him better as of right now. I like him better than I really don't like Isaiah Rodgers. I'm keeping it real with you. Like, there's a reason why in the preseason, the limited snaps, he was kind of underwhelming. He just okay right now. Like, again, I'm going to give it time, but I don't think Isaiah Rodgers is much, if at all, the upgrade from Darius. So I'm just keeping it real with you. By the way, I know that Washington had to be kicking themselves because Zach Ertz barely, but I mean barely missed the first down. And then this rookie from Illinois, that shit was egregious, bro. This nigga did a complete offsides. And literally, I would rather not get a pass rush in that moment than to jump offside. All I had to do was just not fucking move. And I mean, it's good for us, shit, because we close to the taking the division anyway. All right, so that's all I got to say. That's it. That's it. All right. It's a short week. I'm going to try to get this video out as fast as possible. The goal is Thursday morning, right before the game.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now.